Hello there, welcome back. It's Antoinette here from Antoinette's Intuitive Tarot and Jewellery. So Lady Knight of Avalon did a little video a few months ago about her 10 decks that she uses for tarot and research, and when she's doing some of her kind of roundtable discussions, and she has guests onto her channel, and the books that she goes to help with her research for those, and when they discuss the decks and cards. And it got me thinking, because mine has changed slightly since the beginning of the year, where I had a kind of very definite, but I was able to get my hands onto a few new decks and a few new books. So they have changed up a little bit in what I can show you and how I present, and books that I recommend for beginners as well. So I've pulled 10, and I didn't think I was going to need all 10, but some are just references. Some of these are reference, I just dip in and out. These aren't books that I read back to back, cover to cover. And this one by Lisa Chamberlain is actually probably the first book I ever read before I owned a tarot deck. So I remember reading on Kindle. I had Kindle Unlimited, and I read, I can't even tell you how many different books on divination, techniques, tarot. And I think this one actually was one of the most useful of all of them. And it's a nice little book, and it's simple. Now, I would say if you're a beginner, something like this is probably about all that you need to give you the meanings of the cards to get you going, because it starts to get a bit complicated after that. But me being me, and an overachiever, I happen to read, I can't even tell you how many different beginner books for tarot without a deck in front of me. I just read them and made notes on them. So this is one that I recommend. Out of all the ones I read, this is probably the one, because I actually then bought it in a hard version, so I could keep it and carry it around. The other one that I got was this one. So this is the Tarot Cards and the Hidden Symbols from Derek Johnson. So if you wanted to know what I don't know, a trumpet horn means, or, you know, the fact that it symbolizes an announcement, cards that you might find it in, this is the book for you. So this does go through some of the different things that you find in, so if we look here, well, we've got the Two of Cups. You have a caduceus, a crab, the female symbol, the goblet, the chalice, the hills, and it tells you about each of those symbols in here. The lion, the pearls, tassels, water, and wings. So all of those things have symbols, symbolism and meanings in that card. And this book also does it the other way around, I do believe. So it does it that way. And then I think I can look up in an A to Z format an actual symbol, I think she says. Yeah. So I can look up what an owl symbolises, and a card that it might be found in. Octopus, and some of the cards that these might be found in, like the Seven of Cups or the Eight of Cups. So the cards they refer to aren't just the Rider-Waite Smith. It will refer to other decks that were around at the time of printing for this book. And of course that's changed because there's so many decks come out since this, so the list will be endless now. But that's what I liked about this with the tarot hidden symbols. So I got that one because I was feeling nerdy way back when, and I wanted to know things like, what does the gauntlet glove mean in the Knight of Swords, and what do the hills mean, and what do the mountains mean in the Fool. Anyway, it's a great one for looking up those symbols. And again, it's just one that sits on the side, and I very rarely pull on it, but when I do, it's a good one to have. Now this one I haven't really talked a great deal about before, but I actually have it now in a hard format. I have it on my Kindles, so I have it to carry around with me in my pocket, and I have it here. So this is the Hallowed Tarot, and this is by Julue Schwab-Rader. And this imagery is by Kira Balin. And this book is really nice. It's been beautifully spaced, kind of old style, you know, when you submit your essays. Nice big spacing so you can make notes in amongst the lines as you go. There's plenty of space to kind of write things in here as well. Now this lady is one of the ladies I went to and learnt how to memorize and read tarot. She does some brilliant kind of one-to-one teachings, and this is pretty much everything she taught me in a book. So I now have my kind of tutor in my pocket. so you can get private readings from her as well. And she gives her email in here. This is available on Amazon, just to say. So as I say, it comes in Kindle and this hard format. And what this does is it teaches you how to kind of link into and memorize the cards. It also gives you her stories of how she links the cards into real life. And that was for me the key, was that connection and connecting them into my world in order to better associate with the cards. So I'm just coming, so she does a little bit on what tarot is and isn't. She gives you stuff in the back about doing readings and progressing yourself. Kind of who are my games, and that was really the key to me learning with her, was the games and things that she taught me, the memory games, the story games, the kind of where am I game, what character am I, and then cards and keywords. And here's what I'm talking about. So Julie she gives you a bit about the Fool, she gives you some basic keywords for upright and reversed, and then her memory of the Fool and how she links that into her life. And then there's some questions about, your encounters with the Fool, to make you think and to help you ask the next question, perhaps your spread, or about what that card is meaning for you. And then here we have the Magician. So we have the Magician as a memory. Some more questions. High Priestess, and so on. And it just goes on through like that. And then at the back, you obviously got your coloured pictures, if I haven't said that. Towards the back, she does do, probably easier if I just read the so forming effective spread questions. Tells you how to do that. We've got a transformation pathway, getting you to use tarot in a different way, how to be an effective storyteller with tarot, linking your stories together, building confidence, reading with your stories, pulling the card combinations together, how you link them, how you put your stories together, how you then communicate that to people. And we have a little bit there in the epilogue. And some more information there on the back, some testimonials. So this lady played a big part in me becoming the tarot reader that I am today. Despite everything else I'd done, I had spent hours reading, researching, books after books, but this is the one that got me going. This is the lady who actually got me going properly into reading tarot with ease, I would say. So if you're struggling to connect to the cards, because I'm not a touchy-feely person, or I certainly wasn't back then, I couldn't understand this feeling of the card business. Everyone said, 'cause I had a very scientific mind, and I was trying to analyse the card, and yeah, so she got me into that with this book, and I connected in a much different way to everyone else. Even still, my way of reading was different to everyone else's, but it worked. So I do recommend the Hallowed Tarot. And as I said, that is available on Amazon in Kindle and in hardback format. But it's one that I can come back to and read about the cards if I start to lose touch. Because when you read too many books, secret number 2, if you read too many books, you do lose sight of what you're actually wanting to gain from reading tarot. So I'll leave that one there. The next two are by Patisky. And these ones I recommend to people after you've kind of got your links to the tarot. Then this one is just like a quick pull off the shelf, because he does this kind of mapping sensation here, where he puts some keywords down on the page and tells you a little bit about the card. But this doesn't go into great depth about anything else. And this one is the Radical Tarot. And in here he presents different spreads and ways of working with the spreads, and like the scamper technique, for instance. Where is it? So mapping the questions, scamper technique. So the creative thinking, he runs through how creative thinking, how it links into the tarot, and that is his basic whole kind of philosophy on tarot, is creative thinking. And then he has the Bare Bones Tarot. This one I like because it's the same as what we've just seen. So we have the same kind of pictorial keyword, but he also gives us how the cards would have the old-fashioned kind of meanings, I suppose. So in the past, like 1960s per se, what the card might have had meaning for then, and it sort of gives you an idea of how the cards may have changed or evolved as life moves on. And we have meanings from the past, like 1980s, and linking cards together, so more of that sort of fortune telling aspect, I suppose, is what you could say here. So what we're looking at is we have the World. If placed near number 5, the Hierophant, it could mean a protector comes. If placed near number 10, the Wheel, it could mean fortified actions. So he gives you lots of insight that way with this one. But the point to this book, for me personally, was learning how to link cards and read cards in sentences. And so he does the entire Celtic cross and runs through the entire deck. So he puts every card in the position, tells you how that card would read in that position. So it gives you an idea of how each card may present in that position and what it might mean. So here we have the 3s in position 5, position 6 with your 3s. So I can't remember what the positions are in relation to this. Oh, here we go. Okay, so position 3, actions being taken, and any one of the number 3s in position 3 for actions being taken, and then a possible interpretation of the 3s. Then we have number 4, immediate objects, and the potential for that whole back of the book there is going through each card individually, including the majors, and putting them into those spread spaces. That's why this book becomes a dip in and out, because sometimes, you know, if you're stuck, you just don't know how to read a card in that particular way, that's when this book might come in handy. So yeah, so it's 2 from Patisky. Then if we do this one, so this is from an actual tarot deck. So all of my books aren't per se tarot deck books, but this one is. So this is the Star Tarot by Kathy McClelland, and this book is amazing. The information in this book is definitely worth its kind of money. She gives so much information on the card in this book, and it spans different things. So it spans I can't find, so it spans both. It spans Rider-Waite-Smith, it spans both, and it also feels like it steps into another element as well, almost sort of healer-esque, nature-based aspects of tarot or magical realms, or I suppose some people use the word shamanism, so it has that there as well. And that's what I like about this book. She gives you nice, easy to find, so you've got your astrological correspondences, lunar cycles, keywords. She gives you like a story about the card, and then we have some other sort of keywords that she pops out in bold for you to find, which are some of the things that you'll see in the card. So sorry, keywords, symbols. So you know, you've got your goddess of creation in the card. There's 3 golden eggs in the card. You've got the rainbow hiding there in the background. You have a star. You've got lots of stars, to be fair. And there are 3 turtles in this card as well, which, oh, see, so I've just pointed them out as golden eggs because to me they felt like golden eggs, but actually golden eggs might be there. But yeah, so this one, just for the deck is gorgeous, but the book is amazing, and it's worth nipping in and out of for another perspective on the tarot and deeper dives and things that can come with it. And it also links you neatly then into, it bridges the Thoth and RWS, and it also brings in a little bit more of the kind of astrological stuff as well for me. So this one, yeah, really like this one, and that's the only one that I've taken out of a deck to talk about today. Now I have the Crowley Tarot Handbook to the Cards, and this is because I have the deck, and if you're going to study the Thoth, you're going to need the handbook that goes with it. I think this is probably, much like tarot in general, this is probably the only book I need. It is very in-depth. There is a lot of information in this book. It's broken down into sections for each card. So here we have the universe. We've got the foundation, bit about like kind of the card here. We have analysis and description. We have the bits or symbols from within the card. We have further symbols. We have notes. We have interpretations for the card. And then we have interpretations for if it's a general reading, if we're reading for the consciousness, if we're reading it as a profession, relationships. There's analogues for the correlations, archetypes and symbols. The letters of the Kabbalah. Is it Kabbalah? Oh, God. I can't remember the name, the alphabet. But anyway, the kind of hermetic letters are here. We have stuff about the tree of life, numbers, I Ching, runes, cult sites, deity, mythology, planetary associations, sabbats, rituals, music, fragrance, gemstones, again, astrology, alchemy, quotations, writings, pictures. So yeah, lots and lots in this book. You can tell I haven't got very far into my Thoth study from the start of the year, but there we go. That I have that one. And to go with this one, just as a, I'll just bring it up. I also have the Symbolic Kabbalah, which looks like this, basically, on Kindle. It's very in-depth. Again, I haven't read a lot of this, but this is just to dip in and out of to go alongside that book there. So it's kind of a dictionary of symbols, a very complicated dictionary of symbols. And you can see why I probably haven't got very far with all of this, but it's mind-blowing. So I have that there. And that one. Do that. So you can see them. And then we have the Barbara Walker Tarot. Now this one I do also have as a Kindle book. So I have it there. It's not going to open up. Anyway, so I have it here on Kindle. And it gives lots of information because it's just quicker to scan through. It gives you, I think it's easier to go up and down in here, but sometimes I like to, because I'm old-fashioned, I like to have the actual paperbacks. And then it gives you, because it's in here, you have coloured pictures for the cards when it goes to each card, whereas in here they are just black and white cards. And the only coloured version in here, wherever it is there. So there's a inset here of the minors, and that is the only coloured pages in this book. But of course Barbara Walker talks about things in a slightly different way. And then to go with this one, just to expand on everything that she talks about, because this is kind of completely its own system, to be fair, which is why I have this book. So my books are usually for the system themselves rather than having lots and lots of big books for deep diving, studying tarot. So I have the Women's Dictionary of Symbols and Sacred Objects, because this one has lots of different items in it. Tells you, like, things about the jar. We have the key, the sistrum, the shibboleth, shepherd's cross. So just lots and lots of history behind the symbols, round and oval motifs. And of course I'm not this is the Woman's Dictionary of Symbols and Sacred Objects, so she is a known feminist. So I don't know if there is other balanced meanings to these symbols at this point in my kind of like owning of these books. There possibly is, but right now I just have these because it goes with her book here, so they kind of really made sense to own them, just to understand some of her symbols and things that she talks about. And then I have the Women's Encyclopedia of Myths and Secrets, and this is another like really big kind of, I call them dictionaries, encyclopedias, kind of same thing, but and this one has lots of it's just really thick, dense text. So it's not a book you're going to read from start to finish unless you have that kind of way about you, but this is something that you'll dip in and out of as you need to know stuff. And it's just something nice to have on a shelf as well. Plus these aren't very easy to get hold of. So you do have to shop around for them to get hold of them, and you have to check the prices, because sometimes they go for silly money and sometimes they come up for reasonable amounts of money. So those are my books that I'm recommending for having a go with tarot. What are you using and why? Let me know in comments, and if you do want to turn this into a hashtag and help join in, then please do. Maybe yeah, perhaps I should just call it the hashtag 10 decks for my 10 decks for tarot. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.